Hey Cozy Fam! Today I want to talk about a topic that can be very uncomfortable for some folks, but I'm just gonna go there because I am your cozy internet sister and I'm here to guide you through this topic. If you're new here, hello, my name is Andrea and I love making videos about romanticizing the little things and creating joy in your everyday life. I also love posting lifestyle videos as well as music content too. So if that sounds like something you're into, then you're in the right place. I'd love it if you could stick around and subscribe. It helps so much and allows me to make more cozy content for you. This is part 1 of my series called Protecting Your Peace. Financial peace. Yep, we're going there. Lately, I've noticed how easy it is to feel mentally cluttered by everything that we see online. The new gadgets, the perfectly lit unboxings, and the aesthetic hauls. But before we go any further, I want to make myself very clear. I am not here to shame anyone for buying nice things. I get it. If you've worked hard and you can comfortably treat yourself, then absolutely go for it. This right here is not an anti-fun or anti-treat yourself space. But I also know what it's like to see all that stuff online and feel that quiet pressure creep in. Sometimes you can hear a little voice in your head saying, "Oh, I need that." Well, everyone seems to have it. Am I behind if I don't buy it? We are constantly bombarded by the latest trends, and after a while, it starts to feel like you need these things to keep up. But honestly, you don't need the latest thing to belong. Financial peace is about getting really honest with yourself. You can start by asking yourself these questions. Do I actually want this, or do I just feel left out? Can I afford this without stress or guilt? Is this supporting my peace, or is it disturbing it? And look, if you can't afford the Switch 2 and you've been excited about this for months and this purchase is something that will bring you joy, then go ahead and buy it. Honestly, if that is the case for you, then I'm genuinely happy for you. But this is not about depriving yourself. It's about intention and recognizing the pressure we often feel to keep up with others. Like to have the latest thing just because everyone else seems to have it. The tricky part is that oftentimes we actually don't realize that it's happening to us. Sometimes we feel a little off. Sometimes we feel a little bit unsettled, and without even thinking, we open up that shopping tab. And sometimes we tell ourselves, maybe this will help. And then we hit that add to cart button, hoping that it'll fix that feeling. But that kind of fix is only temporary. What lasts longer and actually brings peace is making decisions with intention, clarity, and care. So here is your gentle reminder. You're allowed to say not right now. You're also allowed to want something and choose to wait. You're absolutely allowed to say no because no is also a full sentence. Having financial peace is not about restriction. It's about having freedom. Freedom from guilt, from feeling bad, freedom from the cycle of feeling better only to feel worse. And I understand that this is all easier said than done. But I promise that making intentional decisions means that you are becoming more mindful, which means that that'll have a greater impact on you long term. So whether you're sleeping on the Switch 2 or buying it with joy and excitement, or you're still figuring out what to do, just know that you get to decide and you get to choose what's right for you. When retail therapy actually isn't therapeutic. Let's talk about something I know that a lot of people struggle with. Emotional spending. Sometimes it's not even about buying the newest thing. More so, it's about trying to soothe something that is happening within yourself. You could be tired, you could be overwhelmed, you could even feel a little bit disconnected with yourself. And suddenly that purchase feels like it could lift you out of the fog a little bit. And maybe for a moment it does. And that little dopamine hit is real. The rush of clicking place order and the anticipation of waiting for that package to arrive and that idea that it might bring a little bit of a spark back, but this doesn't fix the root and it actually doesn't restore your peace. It's just distracting you from the noise that's currently happening. And if you've ever hit add to cart after a really long day, I totally get it. I've been there. I've done it too. This is a safe space and there is no shame. I'm just saying that I'm not even close to perfect and I don't ever intend to be, but now I have a lot of awareness when it comes to my spending habits. But if you ever find yourself in the same cycle over and over again, that is your inner self quietly saying, hey, can we find another way to feel okay? Can we comfort ourselves in a way that doesn't leave us feeling emptier later on? That's when financial peace becomes emotional peace too. And honestly, my relationship with money completely changed when I had to face my student loans head on. I remember seeing the total balance and how much I owed, and it made me realize that I wasn't willing to spend money on things that don't move me forward or help me reach my goals. I had originally planned to pay off my student loans in 2 years, but then the pandemic hit, so I had to give myself more space and grace, so I ended up paying off my student loans in 3 years instead. But I'm still incredibly proud of that. But that experience alone taught me something really important. Every dollar that I was spending was either going to help me move more towards peace or more towards my goals, or it was going to pull me further away from it. I know that sounds hardcore, but I also want to preface that I didn't stop treating myself altogether. I said no to a lot of things, I'll tell you that, but going through that experience helped me become a lot more intentional. If something wasn't supporting my future or my definition of stability, I could say no without feeling bad and actually mean it. That season of life taught me that freedom doesn't always come from the things that you buy. Sometimes it comes from the things that you don't buy. So if you're in a place right now where you are reevaluating your spending or trying to shift your focus from more mindful spending instead of emotional spending, I want you to know this. The financial journey takes a lot of time. It takes time to unlearn old patterns, understand your habits, know your values, and also understand what's important to you. It's never too late to learn, so you're not behind. You're getting clear about your goals, and that clarity in every sense of the word is a gift. Redefining abundance. When I was in the thick of paying off my student loans, I had to redefine what abundance meant to me. We're so often fed the idea that abundance means something material. The big house, the nice car, the luxury trips. But in that season of paying down debt, I started to see abundance very differently. To me, abundance looked like a full fridge, a day without financial stress, being creative with all the things that I already had, knowing I could say yes to something meaningful because I already said no to something unnecessary. It wasn't about having less. It was about creating alignment with where I was in my life at the time. You can have an abundant mindset without the constant need to chase more. But at the same time, you can also find joy in the things that you do choose. You can feel rich in peace. You can feel rich in clarity. You can feel rich by having purpose. That is the wealth that I want to build long term. And in my eyes, that's the kind of wealth that will last longer. Let's talk about something that does not get mentioned enough. Spending triggers aren't always obvious, and it's okay to wait. Not all spending triggers are obvious. Sometimes it's not about having an emotional spiral and then clicking add to cart while you're in the middle of a breakdown. Sometimes it can be way more subtle. We can simply buy things when we're bored, or when we're exhausted, or when you want to celebrate and you say to yourself, you know what, I had a really long week, I deserve this. Or you end up scrolling through your favorite creators' affiliate links, and then you end up adding all these things to the cart without budgeting for it that week. You know what, sometimes it just happens, and it's not about shame, it's just bringing awareness to our spending habits. Financial peace doesn't come from spending less. It often comes from spending with more clarity. One of the biggest shifts that I've learned is that I don't need to buy the next big thing right away. We live in a world where everything is fast. If you think of something, you could probably have it on your doorstep the next day or even the same day. And having that kind of convenience can make it really easy to act on impulse. These days, when I want to buy something, I will let it sit in my cart for a little while. Sometimes I'll even save it to a list and then come back to it later. It's not that I forget about it, but sometimes it's just that I didn't actually need it. But when something does actually stay on my mind for a few days, then yes, I probably will buy it. To me, waiting doesn't mean missing out. It means that I'm making space for intention. Delaying a purchase isn't about guilt or denying yourself of having joy. It's about giving yourself time to decide from a calm and clear place, not a rushed or emotional one. Being able to pause, reassess, and make decisions that align with your values is also a form of peace as well. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you liked today's video on my new series called Protecting Your Peace. If you're trying to change the way that you handle money or the way you approach your purchases, just know that it's okay to do things differently than you used to, and that changing your habits takes time. So don't be too hard on yourself. I also made a video recently about the thought of feeling behind. If you're in that place right now, then I'll see you in that video next. Until then, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!